Hello, this is Sarah Brash. Welcome back to my channel. So I want to do a video about the online news site, The College Fix, which is a conservative site, a right-wing site that addresses universities and colleges in the US in particular. So they wrote an article yesterday and they named me in it, and they spoke briefly about my plight in the context of the subject matter of the article. And it was just really a brilliant article, and they made a really tremendous point. And I told them this over Twitter, and they retweeted my tweet saying that they made a really brilliant point, and it was a really great article. So what they said basically is they were chastising, in particular Harvard, but they also mentioned Yale. They were chastising Harvard and Yale, and I think a couple other higher ed institutions as well, about using their campus police forces to enforce their social distancing policies. And the reason why they were chastising them for this, and I think this is really an exquisite point, really it was a great article, is because, oh wait, aren't we supposed to believe still now I get defamed on a regular basis in the Yale Daily News, by the Yale administration, by the Yale police, by Black students for disarmament at Yale? Their number one example of anti-Black racism and police brutality on Yale's campus, it's me, of course. It's always me. It's me, of course. So this is how you know that they are playing at being victims, playing at being activists, because their number one example, the Black students for disarmament at Yale, the Yale student government, their number one example of anti-Black racism and police brutality at Yale is me. And perfectly obvious hate crime hoax perpetrated by a well-documented anti-white and anti-Semitic racist, Lalata Siambola, who subscribes to Nick Cannon's melanin and original DNA conspiracy theories. And she perpetrated this hate crime hoax with the complicity of the Yale administration and police, of course, against me, a well-documented and lifelong human and civil rights activist and licensed attorney. That's right. So the College Fix mentioned my plight briefly, but the reason why they made such a brilliant point and they mentioned me is because we're supposed to believe that calling the non-emergency helpline of the Yale campus police, which is what I did, we're supposed to believe that that is tantamount to a modern day lynching. We're supposed to believe that the Yale campus police are just going to wantonly shoot and kill Black and brown students on Yale's campus. We're supposed to believe that calling the non-emergency helpline of the Yale campus police because you need assistance with respect to a situation that happens to involve a person of color, a student of color, a Black person, a brown person, that if you call the non-emergency helpline of the Yale campus police, this is so racist, you are a genocidal villain, you are perpetrating a lynching. We're supposed to believe this. So the point the College Fix made so brilliantly is, why on earth are they enforcing social distancing? So I said, we really need to ask Yale President Peter Salovey, is the Yale campus police department going to lynch Black and brown students on Yale's campus who don't adhere to social distancing rules? Are they going to be lynched? That's my question, because we're supposed to think that the Yale campus police, that calling them is tantamount to a lynching, is the same thing as a lynching. We're all supposed to believe now that I'm a genocidal villain who was trying to lynch Lola Ciambola and Jean-Louis Renison by calling the non-emergency helpline of the Yale campus police. That's what we're supposed to believe. So I think it's a completely legitimate and reasonable question then to ask Yale President Peter Salovey, is it the case that the Yale campus police department are in fact going to lynch Black and brown students on Yale's campus if they don't adhere to the social distancing rules? Because you told us that it's a lynching. You said if you call the non-emergency helpline of the Yale campus police exactly as the police chief Brynell Higgins told you to do repeatedly for any reason whatsoever via Yale Provost Stephanie Spangler, when I met with her multiple times during the spring semester of 2018 because I was being harassed and stalked in my isolated dorm room on Yale's campus. So you told me to do that. And now you're saying that doing that is tantamount to a lynching. Doing that is a lynching. So, and that I was trying to murder Black and brown students on Yale's campus via the Yale campus police, because apparently, and this is also the position that the Yale campus police chief Brynell Higgins took before the Connecticut Freedom of Information Commission on November 4th, 2019. Basically he basically said, absolutely, Yale campus police, we would totally just wantonly shoot Black and brown students on Yale's campus. Absolutely. So why on earth are you going to have them enforce social distancing guidelines? Are they going to lynch Black and brown students on Yale's campus if they violate social distancing guidelines? Is that what's going to happen? Because you told us that. You keep telling us, the Black Students for Disarmament at Yale keep telling us that the Yale campus police, you told us before in front of the Connecticut Freedom of Information Commission, you keep telling us, you keep saying that absolutely Yale campus police totally will kill Black and brown students on Yale's campus. They will calling them and asking for assistance in any situation is the same thing as trying to lynch a Black or brown student on Yale's campus. That's what you told us. That's what we were supposed to believe. So now you're going to use them. You're going to have the Yale campus police enforce social distancing. That's what's going to happen. And also, it was a few weeks ago now, but just to remind everyone that InfoWars, Alex Jones' website, it wasn't Alex Jones himself, it was one of his writers, one of the staff writers for InfoWars, actually included a tweet of mine in their article that was about basically the same subject. And what I had said in my tweet was, I said, so Yale has this new hotline for reporting people who violate social distancing guidelines. Well, I can't wait until Black and brown students at Yale who get reported via this new hotline for having violated social distancing guidelines, then turn around and go to Yale's new bloated Marxist, Maoist a bureaucracy for snitching on faculty and students for alleged racial harassment, and then they report the reporters for this alleged racial harassment. So it's just going to be lots of fun to be had. Lots of fun to be had during the coronavirus pandemic on Yale's campus. You can snitch on people for violating social distancing. You can snitch on people for racial harassment. You can just falsely accuse people left and right of, racist hate crimes, trying to lynch people. You can say that they tried to lynch you if you're a Black student. You can say someone who reported you to the hotline for violating social distancing was trying to lynch you. That's what you can say. That's basically what happened to me. That's what Lolita Ciambola and Jean-Louis Renison did to me after February 24th, 2018. They went to the Yale administration and falsely accused me of having perpetrated a racist hate crime comparable to a lynching. And then the Yale administration embraced this obviously false accusation because they'd been targeting me for expulsion for years for being a civil libertarian who stood up for the federal civil rights of an evangelical black man on Yale's campus. So that's what I wanted to tell you about, and I'll have my PayPal me and GoFundMe links below. Please, please donate to my legal fund so that I can sue Yale. And I love you all so much for your support. Have a great night. Okay, bye.